Even though receiving the diagnosis of Alzheimer's or dementia is something that can be difficult, it also in a way can be a relief once you have the diagnosis so that you are able to take the steps necessary to reach out and find the resources that will help your loved one the most.
Caregivers really are in dire need of support as they're taking care of their loved ones with early stage dementia, because you're navigating new territory you've likely never dealt with before, and you don't know what to expect. And it really helps to be around people that have already gone down the road.
It was hard for us to talk about. You have to come to terms with something like this. You don't expect it at a young age, and so we didn't talk about it. And now I'm just not shy about it. If someone comes to my yard sale, I somehow bring it up. Partly because I just want to find those other people.
I thought I need to go to a support group, and so that's what I do once a month. And it's people that some are caring from their parent or a spouse, or it's just been a variety of people, and we share situations where we are, and we learn from each other because people are maybe in a different place in the disease, and you're seeing something that maybe you need to be aware of, that it might happen and what you should be doing, instead of having it hit you so suddenly and like, now what do I do?
When somebody has been recently diagnosed and they are in the early stages of dementia, it's really important to go ahead and have some difficult conversations, because you want to take advantage of this window while you have it to have the conversations about things that matter. And you need to go ahead and talk about the financial issues or the legal issues or the medical wishes, while you can still have the conversation and you feel completely confident that your loved one is making part of the decision. I think communication with your family members or friends with early stage dementia is a really critical element that you have to learn how to do correctly, because it helps the relationship between people flourish, because otherwise angry things are liable to be said and miscommunication can happen. And I think the most important thing is to just take your time and listen. You have to slow down, and you really have to just take the time to hear what they're saying. And it's so important not to question so much and not to say, do you remember? Why didn't you remember this? Don't be critical. Try to keep everything in very positive terms. And if you want to talk about something about when they were little, if you're thinking, gee, I wonder if they remember what the tree was like, or I wonder if they remember the house we lived in, you start the conversation and you say, gee, Mom, I remember when I was little and the house we lived in, they had those blue walls. That house was just great. And then just let them continue with the story. That's really the best thing to do, because if you start a dialogue, they will jump in and they will be a part of it. And then if you start something and it doesn't seem to connect with them, that's okay. Just move on and try something else.
An engagement activity that could be great for your loved one if they've just been recently diagnosed with early stage dementia is trying new things, because they're still capable of trying new things and learning how to do new things, whether or not, you don't necessarily have to master something. But I think that also gives you the opportunity to talk about something different that you tried. And it's stimulating. You try something new, and then you have a discussion. You're able to process that with your loved one and create a connection.
They can all do things they didn't know they could do. They can lift weights, they can dance. Many of these are things that they've never done, or they will tell you, oh, I used to do that. And they think now that they can't do it anymore, and that's just not true. If you meet them where they're at, they can do it. It's in a new way, because none of us are the same as we were 10 years ago. But we can work with where they're at today and help them find joy and wellness in the face of the challenges that they have.
It's important after a diagnosis to remember your family member may be going through some changes, and they may not seem exactly like the same person they used to be, but it's so important to remember that if this is your husband, he's still your husband, and this man is still the man he always has been. He may be going through some challenges, and it may seem like he's different, but he's not. He's the same man, and it's really important to hang on to that and hang on to the things that you have done in the past and that you enjoy doing together, and keep doing those. Keep doing those as long as you can.
And I try to just take one day at a time. I don't try to worry about, what's going to happen to me, what's going to happen to him. Who knows? And why am I going to worry about it? I can't do anything about it anyways. Enjoy the moment.